All right, welcome back to No Filter MMA. Yes, the vacation is over. The vacation is over. I am back, and I'm here to push out some videos. I've been seeing a lot of shit on social media. I've been seeing a lot of shit on MMA Twitter. I've been seeing a lot of shit from these fighters when it comes to the return of Miesha Tate. But one in particular, Holm. Let's talk about Holm. Holm says that she wants to get that fight back with Miesha Tate. Oh, y'all know I got a lot to say about that. Y'all know I got a whole lot to say about Holly versus Miesha too. Let's get on into it. So, for starters, okay, let's take ourselves back to 2016. Let's take ourselves back to when Holly fought Miesha. Okay, Holly looked amazing coming into the UFC. Okay, she was undefeated. She beat Marion Renault. She beat Raquel Pennington. You know what I'm saying? And then she climbed the mountain, the quote-unquote mountain, and beat Ronda Rousey. So, as the MMA world, as we do, when somebody comes and upsets somebody like that, they have an instant aura of invincibility. They have a cloak of invincibility, guys. They cannot, according to the masses, they cannot be beat. And the UFC hyped Holm up, who did what she was supposed to do, outstrike a sloppy striker, because once again the UFC had built Ronda up to be this amazing striker, and Ronda was no better of a striker than Miesha Tate. Actually, Miesha Tate was a better striker than Ronda Rousey at that time. Okay, so when you see Holly go out and execute Ronda Rousey the way that she did, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, all these other fighters are gonna. I mean, but Holly was. I mean, Ronda was very reckless and angry in that fight with Holm. She was just trudging forward like a bull, running into Holly's shots. So, you know, of course, everybody's gonna be like, well, you know, you better be aware of the head kick. You know, she's gonna. You know, that head kick resonated across the WMMA community, guys. I wasn't making videos back then, but I was involved. And Miesha approached that fight very cautiously. Like, Miesha, back then, nobody knew how to beat Holly. Nobody knew how to beat Holm. You know what I'm saying? Like, Holly was, at that point, seen as a Goliath. After beating Ronda Rousey, you know, it was like, oh shit, you know, this girl can do everything. But as time tells, and as I've preached many times before, you have to let these people show you. You have to keep letting. You have to watch more fights and see how these people fight. And we know. Fast forward 5-6 years, now we know that Holly has no ground game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and Holly is very repetitive, and people figure out Holm. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what Miesha Tate did. Now, Miesha Tate beat Holly when Holly was at her best, but Miesha was not at her best. We've seen a much better Miesha Tate coming out in this fight with Marion Renault. We've seen a very pressure-heavy Miesha Tate coming forward with a jab, fast hands. Like, when has Miesha Tate's hands been this fast? Miesha Tate ain't never had fast hands. She's had powerful hands. You know what I'm saying? Her right hand has always been there. But Miesha ain't never been landing and sticking punches the way Miesha was landing and sticking punches in this fight with Marion Renault. Now, I understand that Holly is a different fighter than Marion Renault, but this Miesha Tate, this Miesha Tate 100% beats Holly. You know what I'm saying? This Miesha is a totally different Miesha than what we saw in the fight with Holm. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they make that fight again, Miesha 100% beats Holm again. You know what I'm saying? The biggest problem in the first fight with those two, is that Holly was so much more agile on the feet. You know what I'm saying? Miesha was very reluctant to strike with Holm because she was so worried about head kicks, and she was so worried about, you know, elbows and getting knocked out, because, you know, everybody thought Holly had power in all limbs back then. They just thought Holly was just unbeatable back then. But as we know now, Holm is very beatable. So this Miesha Tate, I 100% see it happening again. Like I said, the striking is so much better. You know what I'm saying? The striking is so much more calculated. You know, Miesha landing punches, not just Bobby Bouchering it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Miesha Tate is actually being very calculated with the strikes. She's landing those strikes, and she's fighting behind a jab. I saw Miesha throwing leg kicks, which you very seldom saw. You never saw Miesha Tate throw leg kicks. You know what I'm saying? But you see Miesha throwing leg kicks, like Miesha being agile, Miesha moving her head. Like, this really and truly is a new and improved Miesha Tate. It really and truly is, guys. And I am just, when I saw Holly said that, I knew that sooner or later, especially if Miesha came out here and won, I knew that Holly Holm would start running her mouth. I knew we would hear from Holly Holm. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm just saying, dude, like, Holly, I still see Miesha, because Holly is pretty much the same fighter that she was when she fought Miesha. Like, she's the same fighter. Like, Holly hasn't changed much at all. Like, you don't see Holly throwing hard right hands, knocking girls out with her hands. Like, you don't see Holly hurting girls with her hands like you see Holly kicking girls. You know, that's the only way Holly hurts girls, is when she kicks them. You know, and it's just, I don't know, man. I just feel like now that aura is gone from Holly Holm, that can't nobody beat Holly because she beat Ronda aura, which was what was around her going into that Miesha Tate fight. You know what I'm saying? I think that all of that is gone, and Miesha is not going to be as cautious as she was in that first fight with Holly Holm, because she, like I said, she was extremely cautious coming into that fight. And I just think that if they match them up again, I think we'll see a little bit more fist flying in the second fight. I don't feel like Miesha would be as cautious of Holly as she was in that first fight. Even though Miesha fought a perfect fight against Holly Holm at that time. Like, there was like, Miesha couldn't have done anything different. That fight had to go exactly the way that it went. You know what I'm saying? At that point in time, that fight had to go exactly the way that it went in order for Miesha to win that fight. But I just want to say this, y'all. She's back. Miesha Tate is back. Okay? And the bantamweight division better be aware. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens. So yeah. Drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about Holly running her mouth. This is the boy BJ, back with No Filter MMA. Drop those comments in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that dislike button. And if you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And your boy is out.